welcome to today's video. Before we get started, I'm just going to mention that I had filmed this video before about a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, because today we're going to be talking about periods, and I wanted to kind of talk you through it and then do like a vloggy style clips about my experience with the products I'm going to be talking about. However, as I went to edit the video yesterday, I discovered that I decided to shoot on my G7X, which is actually what I'm shooting on today, so fingers crossed it's working. But I bought a little wind muff, and basically that wind muff I put on incorrectly and it covered the mic, which meant all the videos I filmed last week, which was quite a few, just all had no sound. And more heartbreakingly, all the video clips I shot on holiday all had no sound, which broke my heart. I wasn't sure if I was going to upload it to YouTube, but I always find that those videos are really just something I like to have and kind of treasure for future. The other reason I had pre-filmed is because I wanted to show you the products before I've used them. But I have definitely used all the products. Well, one I'm currently using, and then the other I don't know, I just feel like some people might be a bit funny about it, so I'm just not going to show you. But I have got cutaways, which luckily don't have to have sound, which I filmed last week, and which I'm going to be using to kind of insert in this video. And as I mentioned today, we're going to be talking about periods, because I am really trying to reduce my plastic usage, and I think periods are a good way to start. Don't get me wrong, I have reusable bottles, and I just think that like periods are another nice easy change that one can make. I read this little quote last week which said, we don't need a handful of people doing zero waste perfectly, we need millions of people doing zero waste imperfectly. I think that's such a good way to see it. I think we all just kind of need to be making an effort to reduce our waste rather than completely cut it out, because to be honest that's very, very difficult. So I have got a piece of paper because there's a few things I want to share with you and I'll probably forget otherwise. The average woman uses an average of 11,000 to 16,000 tampons / pads in her life, which is approximately 200 kilos worth of pads, applicators and tampons, which are either thrown into the toilet or into the bin. That's just a bit crazy really, and there's just kind of so many different reasons to kind of move away from tampons and pads in my opinion. I personally use tampons. I did use pads when I was younger and when I first started my period, but I don't typically use pads anymore. I might use 1 or 2 pads a year, not very much at all. It's more so like if I ran out of tampons and someone had a spare pad on them, that would kind of be the only real reason I use them. Just so you kind of know about my personal preferences, I pretty much only use Tampax Pearl in the Super. Don't really stray from those. I don't like pads because I don't really like sitting in them, which I know sounds ridiculous, and it's fine. Like, it's totally a personal choice. Like, if you like them, great. Some people don't like tampons because they don't like the idea of something stopping their period inside them, so it's your choice. I just find pads a bit uncomfortable and a bit like hot and a bit messy. But basically the reason I filmed this video in the first place was to kind of share my opinion, because I kept talking to my friends about menstrual cups and everyone was like so interested. Some people told me, ugh, how gross, but like periods aren't disgusting. Like 50% of the world has it, and like essentially it's just blood. I just don't think periods should really be a taboo. I think kind of it's something we should be talking about a little bit more, which is the other reason why I wanted to film this video. All my friends were like, oh, please tell me about your experiences. And I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna film a video, so it kind of saves me telling all my friends individually about my experience, and I get to tell just a couple more people if anyone is interested. I'm gonna talk to you about what I tried, what I thought, and I guess the difference to this video to what I thought I was going to film is that I've tried everything. Now, the first thing I'm going to talk about are THINX knickers. These ones actually haven't been used. Now, these I actually had tried before I even filmed this video. I've tried them a few years ago. I do think that the sizing range in these isn't great. I'm about a medium large in these. These are a large and I have a medium pair, which actually I think are okay. I'm a size 12, a UK size 12, which I believe is a US size 10. I think if you're a significantly bigger size than me, then I do think you'll struggle to find these in your size. These are antimicrobial, leak resistant. They have loads of different ones, so these are actually one of the bigger pairs. They have them ranging from like light to heavy periods. Some of them go up to 4 tampons, and I believe the thongs start as low as like half a tampon. They have signature technology, which is not only leak resistant but also super absorbent. I assume this is obvious, but they are reusable. You just put them in the wash once you're done with them, and they're just basically like regular underwear in terms of how you wash them. Maybe be a bit more careful and don't use like too many fragrance liquids, but other than that there's not a big difference. They're a little chunkier than what I am used to in terms of a knicker, because I wear thongs every day, so this is significantly larger than what I am used to. And honestly, I didn't think I was gonna like these. I don't love pads, so I didn't think that I would really like these. I think these are probably one of the easiest options to move on to, because they are essentially like knickers and like pads. I actually quite liked using these. I used these for about a day, but I was largely at home during that day. I do find them to be relatively thick. They're kind of a swimming material, and you can even hear, like, that's not like what my usual knickers sound like. But this part down here is a little bit wider than standard knickers in my opinion. I guess that is again to stop leakage. I think I'm going to use these. I think they were really easy. You do have to change them as often as you would change a tampon, or these hold 2 tampons, so as often as I would change 2 tampons, which is quite a lot really. But these are quite nice to sleep with, and I think that's probably what I'm going to end up using them as something to sleep in, because I don't necessarily love sleeping in tampons, so this is a great alternative for that. There's a few downsides, as there is with everything in life. I don't think they're very travel friendly, because if you were on a city break, for example, you didn't have a washing machine and you were there for 2 nights, in your suitcase you'd end up with period knickers, which is a bit annoying because they're not, it's not like they're lightly stained, they are filled with period blood, so that's not very convenient. Also, if you're out for an entire day and you would change your tampon quite regularly, that these would need to be changed. Biggest down part is that they are expensive. I don't know off the top of my head how much they are, but they're like the 20-30ish pound mark. But realistically, I would like to have, if I was going to use these every single day for an entire period, I'd probably like to have 8 to 10 pairs in my opinion. They might say you need less, but I mean, like, in the perfect ideal world, that's what I would like, and that's a hell of a lot of money to be spending on knickers for 4 days a month, at least for me. Nonetheless, it's a great alternative, and even if you just wear these and wash them, wear and wash, and in between whilst you're washing, you use a tampon, you would still be reducing your plastic by quite a lot. I think these are a good alternative. They're great for someone out there, and I am going to keep wearing them, and I didn't mind wearing them. I had no major issues really. I'm pretty happy with these actually. Then on to Dame. This is the little pouch it comes in. What it is a reusable tampon. That's not true. Dame is actually the world's first reusable tampon applicator. They created this in response to the fact that through every kilometre of UK beach there are 9 tampon applicators, which is crazy. This is what it looks like. This is the size of it. I'm not going to open it because I have used it. I have cleaned it, but like I said, some people are grossed out. So it actually uses antimicrobial, why does that word keep coming up and I can't pronounce it? Antimicrobial technology to sterilize and keep the applicator hygienic and clean at all times. We can use it with any size of tampon, whether they're super absorbent or smaller ones. They claim that if you make the switch, you will be saving 12,000 disposable tampon applicators from entering the ocean, which is pretty good. These cost £24.99, so these again are quite pricey, because although this isn't expensive, you will continuously have to be buying tampons to go inside. The brand does sell these tampons, and I would highly recommend looking into organic tampons. These are 100% organic. They actually have a subscription service for them. They are free from toxins and synthetics, which is actually something I should have mentioned earlier. Another reason to stop using tampons, normal tampons and normal period pads, is because often they're like bleached. They have like little bits of plastic inside them, not only on the outside. For the subscription service, they come in little boxes and they come straight through your letterbox. You can sign up for a monthly subscription, and I actually have kind of compared them to standard tampons, and these cost, including postage and packaging, £8.50 for 34 tampons, which I think is about 2 periods. At least for me, I think it's about that, and so which makes them 25p each. And compared to like a standard tampon that I buy from Boots or Sainsbury's, which costs 17p, so these are more expensive. These come out at 8p more expensive per tampon, but I really think that it's better for your health, it's better for the environment. You have the perk of it coming straight through your letterbox, so you don't have to worry about going to the shop and buying them. In the grand scheme of things, they're not that much more expensive. Over 2 months, it's probably like the price of 1 coffee more expensive, if that makes sense. So not a huge difference. So what was my experience with this? Honestly, I think this is the easiest change to make. The only kind of difference, which isn't really huge, you have to remember to pack both the tampon and the applicator, and that's the only real difference I saw in terms of like practicalities. And obviously you have to remember to order the tampons because they come in the post, but if it's a subscription service it's pretty easy. My only other comment on this is that the actual applicator is significantly larger than any other applicator I've ever used, which I don't think is a huge issue. I don't really think it's much more uncomfortable if you're used to tampons. I mean, it's literally like you're uncomfortable for a second. There's no pain, no nothing like that. Really easy to use. If you want to make a move and you don't know which one to go for, if you use tampons, this is by far the easiest. Honestly, I had my heart set on one sort of period solution, and that was menstrual cup. I have one in, so I can't show you it. It actually comes in this packaging. And then I also have this one, which is the INTIMINA one. This, I haven't actually ordered this one yet, so I'm gonna keep this one in here. Again, they look completely new. I have heard that they do change with use, but I haven't used mine very often, so mine's still looking great. But I have the boil mine, so I'm just not gonna show you it. The reason I wanted to move to cups was because it's a one-off purchase. You don't have to like continuously be buying stuff, and actually it's like relatively cheap. You don't like get any loose fibres, there's no bleach, there's no chemicals, and they last up to 10 years. So for me this just sounds like the best option, although it is the most different to anything I have used before. I've worn knickers before, I've used tampons before. Those two were easy. I've never used a cup. I hadn't anyway. So the INTIMINA cup that I have is the size A compact one. It's designed for people that haven't had babies and who I think have like a relatively normal flow. Both of these cups are medical grade silicone, but the difference really between them is that the INTIMINA one you fold up and it comes in like a compact little box, whereas the one that I currently have in, you put in this little pouch. So how they work with the little cups, you kind of fold them and then you put them inside yourself. The blood collects in this little cup, and then you pull them out, pour out the blood, and you rinse it and put it back in. It's as easy as that. And this is the one I went for first, and honestly I think I just made a rookie mistake. I wish I had these vlog clips, and actually I filmed some of them on my phone, so I will look to see if I have any vlog clips on my phone. This is the one I went for first because I thought it's the smallest. This is so easy to keep in your handbag. Literally, it's tiny, it's bright like I remember it. I just think this, convenience wise, is the easiest. I tried to use this one first on my first day of my period, and honestly, like, if you're gonna make the change, wait till day 2 of your period, because I was grumpy AF. I was not in the mood, I was tired, I just felt awful that day, like absolutely awful. And with that I had to deal with sticking a cup that I'd never used, and that's just something totally different, into myself to collect my period blood, and honestly it was not fun. I don't know, I think with any cup it's a process, like you'll get used to them, you'll learn how to use them, but I do find the Lily cup a little bit hard to use. Where it's foldable, then unfolding it to fold it into like the fold that you use to insert into you, I feel like I've done this a lot this video. I just found that a little bit difficult, and actually I thought this was gonna be the easiest one because it's so small, so fine, and it's just significantly smaller than the other cup. I did then kind of like try out the other bits, and then I decided to give the Lunette Menstrual Cup a go. Price wise, these are relatively similar price. The Lily cup is £24.95, and it comes with that nice little pink case, which I think is good. And then the Lunette Menstrual Cup, which I got off Amazon, is £18. And quick full disclosure, everything was sent to me apart from the Lunette cup, because I asked some friends about it and they recommended the Lunette cup, which is why I went for that one. For some reason I just found it that little bit easier. I think it's just personal preference. I think I am going to go back to the Lily cup and I think it'll be fine, but this time around I just found the Lunette cup that little bit easier. I found a fold that I like. I'll insert a picture of the fold that I personally liked, and actually the girls that I spoke to, they said that one of them uses one fold and the other one uses the other fold, so it is totally a personal choice. There's different folds that you can use to insert it into to like make it easier. My kind of recommendations, I guess, are that make sure it's high enough because it's just that little bit more comfortable. But it's the same with tampons. A lot of my friends find tampons uncomfortable. I really think that with most people, not all people, but most people, I think they're maybe just not inserting it quite high enough, and that's why it's a little bit uncomfortable. It was good. You can keep them in for 12 hours. You know what, initially I thought I had issues with the Lily cup, but looking back on it, maybe I didn't. Like, I think I was just worried, because I can feel the cup for like the first like half hour or so. It's not sore, it's not painful, nothing like that, but I can just feel that it's in there, and I think I was like, well, I shouldn't be able to feel it. Like I said, this is my first go at it, so I am going to keep going and see how I get on with them. But basically after the first half an hour, I generally can't feel them in there. I mean, maybe if I think about it, I do think for me personally, on the Lunette cup, the little stick which you use to pull out the tampon, which you use to pull out the cup, is a little bit long, so I'm going to give that a little bit of a cut. But again, that's a personal preference thing. And I think I'm just going to keep using the Lunette cup, and kind of a few variations of the other things as well. I'm going to have tampons just because, you know what, sometimes I just want a tampon. It's just easy, it's just what I like. I'm just going to keep a few tampons in case I really want them. I'm definitely going to be using the THINX KNICKERS every now and then. Why I'm sticking with the cup more than anything, and why that's kind of, in my opinion, the ideal, is because unlike tampons, which kind of messes with your pH balance, this doesn't, because it's just a silicone cup. There's no like bleach in it, there's no nothing really. It doesn't really mess with like dryness. There's also different sizes for different people, so if you've had a vaginal birth or you haven't, they are kind of the most different item, and I 100% appreciate that. I think if you've got very, very long nails, this would be difficult as well, because you are having to insert it into you kind of more manually than you would with the tampon. Removal is a little bit difficult, and it's probably like the one time I'm a little bit uncomfortable, but especially with the Lunette, because the ring is quite wide and it's unfolded pretty much when it comes out. Again, I think it's something I'll get used to. I haven't had any issues at all with it, but some people say you have to kind of like break the seal, so you kind of have to like squeeze it almost to because it kind of suctions onto you. It sounds scary, it's not. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to mention. Oh, I went for the blue Lunette one because the girls I spoke to said that if you get the clear one, it gets a bit grubby really quickly, so that they're assuming that the blue one won't get quite as grubby as quickly. But I mean, it's only you seeing it. Oh, the boiling. So you can clean it with soap and water in between using it. I boiled it before I started as well. You literally just put it in a pan with water and leave it for like 5-10 minutes, and it's that easy. I haven't found it to be too messy. You literally just, once you take out the cup, you pour it down the toilet, and then you basically rinse it and reinsert. And I think that's it really. I'm excited to be making a move towards just something that's so easy but makes that little bit of a change. If you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them below. If I have loads of questions, which I don't think I will, I might do another video, maybe like a 6 months on how I've got on with everything, or if there's anything else you'd like me to try, then do let me know. And that's basically it, I think. I really hope you enjoyed this video. It's been very interesting for me. I hope it kind of helps a few of you out. Lots of my friends seem very interested but very nervous. I think it's just about like trial and error, kind of persevering through it. You'll kind of get used to it with everything. Even when I started using tampons, I struggled a little bit with them. But please let me know your experience with reusable, eco-friendly period products. I would absolutely love to hear your thoughts, what you've tried, what you'd like to try. If you'd like to see more stuff like this, like this video if you haven't liked it already, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and I shall see you all soon. Bye.